Hey, movie lovers, just a reminder, be kind, rewind, and have a totally awesome night.
Remember when Friday nights meant the video store? Cam and Coby are bringing it all back. The smell of popcorn, the hum of neon lights, those covers with artwork so rad, it didn't matter what was actually on the tape. And yeah, those late fees you kept hidden from your parents. Because those movies weren't just rentals, they were your childhood in the making. This is Raised by VHS.
Welcome to Raised by VHS, proudly paying late fees since the 80s. Let's pop this tape, adjust the tracking, dim the lights, Cameron. We got a staff recommended pick for you tonight.
We
right?
do. We're going to keep the scaries going.
Yeah. Keep them rolling, baby.
Yeah, man, this is a great month. So today's film, it's another all-time classic, and this was a Coby pick. This is Scream. I think he's been more excited about this one than any other, only because it's a different one for us.
It is.
This is one this was the first time viewing it this last week. That's sad to say.
It's crazy. I can't believe you've never seen it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it because I've been thinking about it all week.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool because it was a new movie for me.
We got to pop your cherry on a Scream, and we're very excited about that. So let's get right into this bad boy. The name of the film is Scream. Released December 20th, 1996. Kind of a weird time. Like, why would you...
I know.
Right before Christmas.
I never understand that.
Like, let's just do it in
October.
October.
It's like a good Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Let's wait till December. Which, I think they gross more during that month than they do in October?
They do, but it just seems, I don't know.
I don't know, out of
place. Is what it is. Yeah. Directed by the man himself, Wes Craven. Tagline, someone is playing a deadly game. Someone who has seen way too many scary movies.
Very.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Distributed by Dimension Films. Worldwide total box office gross, $173 million. That's a lot, especially on a budget of $14 million.
Yeah, that's insane.
Thing just did gangbusters. You know, the critics at the time, when Scream hit the theaters in '96, most critics were actually pleasantly surprised. It wasn't just like another one of those throwaway slashers.
Yeah.
Roger Ebert praised it for being clever and funny while also being scary, highlighting how it played with the audience's expectations. Many reviews pointed out Kevin Williamson's sharp script and Wes Craven's ability to reinvent his own genre, blending satire with real tension. Obviously, Wes Craven had been doing this for a long time, right? This was sort of like a reemergence at the time. Some said, though, they dismissed it as a little too self-aware and overly violent. I can't believe the slasher was violent.
Yeah, seriously. Doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean? It has a 66 on Metacritic, which isn't great, but it's not bad for Metacritic. It won Best Movie at the 1997 MTV Movie Awards, which, Best Horror Film at the Saturn Awards.
There's the Saturn Awards again.
It's coming back up, right?
Yeah.
We don't know where it's come from or what it is. So, if you haven't seen this movie, which is crazy, even though Cam's was in that camp.
I think I was kind of in that,
ago.
that, like you were saying, or critics were kind of like, it's another slasher. It just didn't really seem, but it was different. It's different than that.
Yeah. So a year after her mother's death, Sidney Prescott and her friends started experiencing some strange phone calls. They later learned the calls were coming from a crazed serial killer in a white-faced mask and a large black robe looking for revenge. His phone calls usually consist of many questions, the main one being, what's your favorite scary movie? Along with much scary movie trivia, ending with bloody pieces of innocent lives scattered around the small town of Woodsboro.
Man, I did like the scary movie trivia
It's awesome,
that was throughout the whole movie.
It's great. It really is.
Yeah,
so
that was cool.
I want to go back to memory lane here. This one's obviously going to be very easy for Cam.
Yeah, it's last week.
A
couple days ago.
He did not see this growing up. This was not something that it's crazy to me because it seems like something you would have seen, but
I know.
Wasn't.
I don't know why. It wasn't one
happened.
that was on my list. It just didn't seem as interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why. I was in high school too.
I know. It's the crazy thing. So obviously this came out in 96, so I was like 15. when this, I might have been 16.
I was more into Titanic at the time.
you were definitely a Leo guy back in the day, weren't you?
That's the only movie I was watching.
Yeah.
Waiting for him.
That one had the double VHS. It was so long. Remember?
Wasn't it like 96 or something? It was around
probably.
that?
Yeah,
96, 97.
96, 97. So I was like 15, 16 when this thing came out. I can't remember if I saw it in theaters. I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I saw this.
This is a great one at home with friends.
I specifically remember popping this in my bedroom. We had a bunch of people over, and I was like completely just blown away by this thing. You know, it had really cool kind of gory kills, but the movie was also like super funny. Like, you know what I mean? And
it's kind of cheesy funny. Like,
yeah.
It is. I didn't expect
exactly. And it kind of had this vibe and this feel, and I'm going to talk about this later, that just, I absolutely loved it. And it was one of those things where I'd seen a bunch of slasher, well, not a bunch, but I'd seen enough slasher films as a younger kid, you know, when you could like, oh, we're going to watch this. And, you know, when the parents didn't know or whatever. But it's sort of like reimagined those in a different way. And it felt super modern. Like it felt really new, but it like also felt like really like a classic slasher. Right? It just felt like a really big deal at the time when it came out. So I think that's why
it was pretty much a big deal. I do remember a lot about it and advertisements, and Ghostface was huge.
Yeah,
like,
Ghostface
everybody wanted that
huge.
costume.
Totally. But I think that's why it's stuck with me for so long. And it's been one of those movies that I revisit so often.
Yeah.
And there's been 6 more made, one more on the way.
I lost track.
Next year, I've seen all of them because
I haven't seen any of them.
My daughter loves them. The rest of them aren't that great.
Aren't they?
Let me tell you, the rest of them aren't that great. This one is the one. If you're gonna watch, this is the one.
I was pleasantly surprised. Like if you see my notes, if you could see my notes, like it's thicker at first because I'm like taking notes during it, and then I kind of got into it to where I didn't really like stop and make mention of anything. I had to go back and add stuff in because it kind of sucked me in. I was interested in the story. Awesome. I knew everything about it, which killed it a bit for me.
That does make it not quite as good of a.
It definitely
first
wasn't
viewing.
as good the first viewing, but it still was really fun. I really liked it.
Good. Okay, so let's just get moving on. Let's break this sucker down. Let's start with the unforgettable opening call, the kind of cold open of this movie. Casey Becker, home alone with a bowl of popcorn, gets a flirty phone call that turns sinister. The caller knows too much about her, taunting her with horror trivia before revealing he's outside. Her boyfriend is tied up on the patio, and within minutes, both are dead. The sequence ends with her parents finding her body hanging from a tree. It's shocking, brutal, and instantly iconic. Wes Craven announcing this isn't just another slasher. This was the thing to me that I was like almost shocked at when I saw it the first time, because I remember going, oh, Drew Barrymore is in this. Yeah. That's freaking sweet. And then she's here in this first scene.
I think that makes it. Like this opening scene, I know maybe this is early on saying, but this part was not topped by the rest of the movie. Yeah, it was so well done.
It really was.
And being like a big actress, and then for her to die and in such a bad way, like I was like, I was like, this movie's pretty cool. Like,
it took some guts for Wes Craven to say
literally.
Literally some guts. It really did take some guts though, because it's like, I'm gonna kill off Drew Barrymore in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She's
now,
gone.
You probably will go into this, but wasn't she originally going to be cast, or they had considered her, and she so it worked out really well. Actually,
it was perfect. It was everything was perfect.
Just the fact that she died, you're like, man, this movie, could be a victim. Like,
no
you don't know.
Safe. Yeah, nobody's safe.
And that set it up so well.
Oh, it really did. I mean, the writing in this is superb. Yeah, like it's so good, and the directing is so good.
Yeah. And for the past week, this has been the scene, and this whole opening sequence has been on my mind the whole week.
That's awesome. That's great. Like, I wish I could, honestly, like, I was a little jealous of you getting to watch this for the first time.
To see it again.
And to like being
virgin mind to Scream.
Exactly. and kind of understanding film a lot better than you did at 15 years old. All I know is how it made me feel.
No, that does make sense. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was actually pretty sweet.
But it's like almost an iconic, one of the best opening, like cold open scenes in any movie I've ever seen. And just the vibes, again, watching it again, it's like, oh my gosh, the 90s vibes. It's like, please take me back. I mean, minus the murder part, like Jiffy Pop, right? getting ready to watch a movie, boyfriend, girlfriend's coming over.
Yeah, that's what was weird is it's almost like I was watching a movie that was like a retro. Like it was trying to like show retro stuff, but I'm like, oh, no, this was when it was made.
This was filmed in 1995.
Cool. But
like,
it was so cool. And the cell phone, like her like wireless phone and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember all of that stuff.
It's so crazy. Yeah, it just felt normal, but like
back then
nostalgic.
would have been
super nostalgic.
And the voice on the phone was pretty like, I didn't expect it to be that way. I'm like, for one, I'm like, why would she talk to him for how creepy he sounds? But I'm like, maybe she just thought it was like somebody joking around.
Right.
But I did like the voice a lot. Like, the voice actor was really good.
He was fantastic.
I was like, it made it kind of eerie, but you're also like he just sounds weird.
He does sound
and then, like, right off the bat, he's already shouting out to those old slashers.
Exactly.
And so I thought that was really cool.
It was very cool. And some of these lines, again, super iconic. You know, do you like scary movies?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the most iconic lines in all of horror film at this point. I'm
and
pretty
for
sure.
that age point, it's like every kid's been watching scary movies in their teens. So it was like, it like applied to the crowd or the audience super quick.
It
and
really
easy.
did. And those shots in the house, and then it shows like that big like old TV with the blue screen on it. I just like, my gosh, there was so much nostalgia watching this. You know, and at the time it was modern. It felt great, but now it's like, oh, I want to be back there. and then all the shots around the house that, you know,
that's the part, man. I loved how it's all kind of like mist and steamy, and the thing is, man, at your own home, the yard is the scariest for some reason at night. You're like, I know the layout so well, but when it's dark, you're like, I don't know what's going on. And
what's out there?
And I just like, I felt that during it. I was like, when the lights go out outside, you're like, something out there. Like, I don't know why. I remember as a kid always thinking there was something out in the yard.
Oh, yeah, for
Go out
sure.
and get something in the car, sprint back because you just felt someone was stalking you.
Forget to feed the dogs, and you have to go out there at like 10:30.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing ever. You didn't want to do it. It's freaking scary.
We had pop, like we had soda pop in our garage, and it had to like cross over an open area to get to the garage, and then when I would like sprint back full speed to the house.
It was like 15 yards,
and it was like a screen door too. So it's not very far
very
at all.
far.
But that little gap of exposure,
that was enough.
Terrified me.
Yeah, it really was. And then some of these lines that are said here, like they are genius, you know. And he's talking to her. He's like, you know, what's your name? Or he said something like that, and she's like, well, what do you want to know? And he's like, because I want to know who I'm looking at. Like,
that's when it changes and it becomes a lot more creepy.
That genuinely kind of freaked me out when I was like 15 years old. The first time I watched it, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like he's out there watching her right now, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, if you hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish.
Man, you sound like it.
That's so creepy, dude.
Yeah, it is.
And then the other one that really got me, she's like, well, what do you want? She's like, and he's like, to see what your insides look like. What?
I know.
Dude, the lines are fantastic. It's really great writing. Mostly in like the slashers like this, they're throwaway lines.
Yeah,
like, these
exactly.
are really great.
Yeah.
Really
As I said,
well
they did this opening scene extremely well.
Yeah, and then so they're going back and forth, and finally she has to like turn the light on to see outside.
Mm-hmm.
And there's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like strapped to a chair.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just like that he's in his Leatherman jacket. Like,
of course, yeah.
No, I don't know about how your high school was, but not very many people wore Leatherman jackets. So I'm always like, this is such a classic look for a horror film. There's always like the high school boyfriend is, you know, cool guy, jock that has his Leatherman jacket. So it was just, it applied more to high schoolers again.
Yeah, it definitely did. And in the end, so they're going back and forth. He kind of tricks her with some trivia. And the boyfriend just gets gutted. I mean, just straight up.
I know.
Like,
and it's all, the sounds are all.
Yeah. And his guts are just kind of hanging out there. And she sees, and then it's really, it's kind of crazy. He gets inside the house and she's trying to get away.
Yeah.
Right? But she does, you wrote the note about the burned popcorn.
Dude. I could just smell it the entire time. It's the worst smell on the planet. And I'm like, and the whole house is like covered in smoke. You know, obviously to help the scene, but it was like, I would just like let him kill me at that point.
You'd have to either burn the house down or just die because it would smell that. I don't know what it is about burned popcorn.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
It's the worst smell on earth.
Yeah. But it was cool because there's like, she was so distracted and the fire was like, it was burning in the background. So it made the scene really good. But I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, that is probably the worst smell in the world.
Yeah.
And then her death, man, was pretty horrible.
It was.
Like, it was even more horrible when her parents were like within reach. Like, that made it so much worse for me. I was like,
she couldn't scream.
Because he slashed her throat, right?
Or I think he had choked her.
Maybe
or
choked her. I couldn't tell if he had the knife up to her neck, but I couldn't tell if it actually got cut. But either way, she couldn't scream. They were within reach right there. And then when they have to listen to her like dying on the phone,
my gosh.
I'm like, man, this is a horrible death scene.
It's horrible, and it's
but it
scary.
Made the movie like, this is a good movie.
The worst image of the whole thing
for
is
a kid,
the end.
But as an adult male, I was feeling the same way.
Exactly. The worst image of the whole thing is that sort of like weird push in they do to her when she's hanging in the tree.
Yeah.
Ugh,
that was horrible. A little much.
It's like, holy crap,
but
that
it
is
was
so creepy. And then it just switches over.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's always a big deal, like a big actress death scene when you see him like dead. I don't know why it stands out so much more. You're just like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's horrible, man.
So it made this movie like, man, everybody could die in this movie.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I think it's like, who's what?
Yeah, I only knew like who the killers were. I didn't necessarily know who was going to die because I hadn't seen anything. Well, obviously I knew like Dewey would live.
Oh, right.
Arnett, right? Because I saw him on the cover of some of the other ones, and same with what's her name. But other than that, I was like, could everybody else die in this?
You don't know. You just don't know, right?
I still, even though I knew a lot about it, I was still like, this is a pretty violent slasher, and so anybody can die in this.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the cold open. It's huge. It's a great way to start this movie. But then we meet Sidney Prescott. So after Casey's murder, we cut to Sidney Prescott at home. She's in her room when Billy Loomis sneaks in through the window, which is her boyfriend.
Billy Blue Balls.
Billy Blue Balls, that's what we like to call him. They talk and make out briefly before Sidney stops it from going further. Billy leaves after her father comes in the door.
Yeah.
I mean...
Again, another thing, very high schoolish.
Yeah, I've done a lot. I did a lot of stuff when I was a kid, but I never snuck into a girl's room with her parents there. Never.
I know.
No.
Yeah, same. I've never that extreme.
No, thank you.
But it's funny. A lot of movies show that kind of thing.
They do.
I was like, did that happen a lot? I got a really boring childhood.
I don't think I really knew anybody who did that.
I don't think I did either.
Maybe people did.
I did know my sister snuck out a few times.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody ever snuck in. Well, as far as I know.
Sneaking out's one thing.
Yeah.
Sneaking into a girl's house.
In their
bedroom.
Own house.
Yeah. No, thank you. But and so they're kind of just talking. She's in her cute little pajamas.
I love it. He's like, you sleep in that? Because the first thing I thought is when she like opens the window to let him in, I'm like, what is she wearing?
I know.
Like her little sister's dress?
Yeah. Or like an old
nightgown?
Like an old lady nightgown or something.
Like a little pioneer nightgown.
It was hard to tell, but it was.
But he was like, kind of like, I like it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this.
Billy.
But he comes in and he has this line where he's like, The Exorcist was on, and it got me thinking about you.
She's like, oh, it did?
Okay. It's a weird thing to say to a girl when you're trying to, do what you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of an interesting scene. But the soundtrack, I don't know what song was playing, but it's perfect. I love the soundtrack throughout this entire movie. They did a good job.
Yeah, they did.
With the soundtrack to this.
It was a different music composer. He hadn't done anything like this. I can't remember. Did you do much?
I didn't look into him that much, but a lot of it
was something that he'd never done. So it was kind of interesting, but I think it worked out really well.
But I think this like the actual songs that they picked besides the score was really, really good. But we meet Skeet Ulrich, who is Billy Loomis, which is her boyfriend. But to me, like it's almost
like
like
what you said.
Like he's kind of like a Kmart Johnny Depp.
He does. He has like the hair kind of in his face that he's kind of that weird, attractive look.
Yeah.
You're like, you're kind of weird looking, but I can see why girls would probably be into him.
Yeah, but I actually I think he's great in this movie.
I think he's too. Because he's kind of creepy, eerie, and mysterious. You're like, I don't know what about him.
Weird.
And I think they made it that way for you to like kind of suspect him, and then it switches.
But also, he's kind of attractive.
Yeah.
I think I like him. Yeah, I don't know, right?
But the one part, and I had to rewind it. I had to like scroll back.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't tell what he said. I swear, doesn't he say like, he's like, when we first started dating, we were R-rated, but now it's more PG-13. I'm like, if she's not taking her panties and stuff off, like,
right? Well, I don't know.
So I was like, what do you mean R-rated?
I don't think he's. Yeah,
or he
he's like,
thought we were going to be more.
We were
R-rated.
R-rated on our way to an NC-17.
Yeah. So how do you?
Saying.
Yeah. So how do you go from that to?
They must have done some.
And the way that she is, I'm like, she doesn't really even like. She's not very physical with him. So I'm like, I don't know what kind of R-rated they were doing before.
Maybe you're just swearing a lot.
Exactly.
They're just like a whole bunch of cuss words together.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I was like, the only R-rated that I ever thought as a kid was like, it's probably just swearing and gore.
Yeah, exactly. That's no big deal.
Yeah,
that's
so maybe that's what. Yeah, maybe they were killing stuff together.
That's what was going on. I don't know,
but it was just kind of a weird. I'm like, what do you mean you were R-rated and now you're PG-13? Like, sounds like you've been PG. I know PG-13 the whole time.
It does. But then she's like, would you settle for a good PG-13? When he's like climbing out the window, and then she flashes him. And I'm like,
that's kind of R-rated to me.
Yeah, well,
but a lot of PG-13 in the 80s was not that way.
PG. Do you remember
Beastmaster actually has.
Do you remember 16 Candles?
Well, that's right.
There's a boob flash that like the first 5 minutes.
I wouldn't know.
But it's PG. Huh? It's
yeah,
PG.
I know.
That's so crazy, dude.
You get one of those in.
Yeah, I guess you could do a lot of weird stuff in the 80s.
As long as your parents are around, parental guidance, you're okay to show.
It's all good.
Chest.
But Homeboy's balls are as blue as can be.
My wife's going to hate this episode.
Yeah, she might. But, like, she flashes him on the way
By the way,
out.
she flashes, but you don't see it.
You don't see anything.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure my wife understood that.
Yeah, sure. Cam has to check through his wife with everything he watches.
I'm not 17 anymore.
You're not 17 anymore. But, yeah, she flashes him on the way out. Yes, you don't see anything. But I'm like, this girl's a tease, and he says that to her. Like, you're a tease.
This poor kid.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, it's hard to feel bad for him because he's a serial killer, but, still not great. It's tough.
She's a bad tease, yeah.
Yeah, she is. At school, we meet her circle, Stu, Tatum, Randy, and then we also meet Gail Weathers. She's the ambitious reporter who covered her mother's case, and we're going to learn about that. News of Casey's murder throws Woodsboro into chaos. Police swarm, curfews are imposed, and suspicion spreads. Sidney is attacked in her own home by Ghostface. Barely escaping alive, Billy conveniently shows up right after, only to be arrested, deepening the mystery. Meanwhile, Deputy Dewey tries to keep order while Gale circles like a shark, sensing a bigger story. The town becomes a pressure cooker where no one feels safe.
And it kicks off pretty quick that way. Like,
it does,
gets you pretty, like, but first, like, I do love the soundtrack and the suspense building right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel, I've heard some people say the middle gets a little bit slow, but I'm like, I didn't feel like it was slow at all.
Yeah. I don't feel like, I think the pacing is good.
I think the pacing is good. Yeah. So I really like the soundtrack when they go at the school and all of that, just kind of the small town. I will say one thing. This looked like the busiest town I'd ever seen in my entire life.
A busy small town, huh?
Like,
yeah,
because it's like the shots of the school. It's like no one's inside the school.
Everyone's
outside.
It's
like everyone's outside.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple other shots through the film that I was just like, why are there so many people everywhere outside? No wonder you can't find a murderer.
We hired all these extras. We got to have them walk around.
It was busy.
Everywhere.
It was busy.
But I do love like that shot outside the school. That soundtrack hits, and you feel like that vibe. The small town. There's a murderer on the loose. I just freaking love it.
And it's funny because as a high schooler, you would just be joking about it. You're like, there's no way it's going to happen to me. Yeah. That is totally the high school mentality.
And now I'm like,
I'm safe. I'm not.
I wouldn't even let my kids go to school.
I wouldn't either.
Do you know what I mean?
That's so funny. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, man, I remember in high school, you would be like joking around or trying to scare each other.
Yep.
When there was an actual murder around. But as an adult, and a parent, I'm like, I wouldn't have my kids anywhere near school. They'd be at home locked in all the time.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And then we also meet Dewey. He might be my favorite character in this movie.
I think so. He's freaking funny.
So freaking funny.
It's hard. There's some good actors in this whole movie.
Yeah, there is. And and then we meet the principal as well, who is
Fonz, yeah.
The Fonz, yeah. And I just love the thing, everybody's found out that there's been this murder. So there's kind of like this kind of vibe going on in the school and the town and all the kids. They're kind of excited about it all, but it's also kind of scary, right? And then the principal's all over the intercom and he's like, remember, your principal loves you and wants you to be safe. I can't imagine my principal saying he loves us over the intercom. It just felt like a weird thing to say to me. I don't know. It was really weird. I'm like, we got to check principal's house because he might have some weird pedophile stuff going on. I don't know.
Most of the scenes he was in, he was kind of weird.
He was super weird. Yeah, he definitely was. But then we see this shot of Sid and Tatum, her best friend, and then all the other guys that are with them, right? We have Billy, we have Stu, and we have Randy. And they're outside of the school, and it's just sort of kind of an exciting thing. They're talking about the murders. Yeah. They're talking about, it's one of my favorite scenes.
It is a cool scene. It's a cool very high school vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, it really
it's like
is.
You're hanging out with your friends before class and just like talking about what's going on.
Was it before or after? I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but yeah, it's around that time. So.
But what a great cast in this movie, because we also have Matthew Lillard, who gosh,
the dude's freaking funny.
So good in this. So good. I don't know if he's ever been this good in anything else, but he was fantastic in Scream. Jamie Kennedy, which is not a guy like I really love as an actor, but I think he was perfect for the character that he plays in Scream. For me,
he's Randy, right? Yeah,
he's Randy.
He did really good in this.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that point.
Yeah. They start to talk about the murders and like there's like starting to cast some of that doubt of like who could it be? Is it Billy? And then Stu kind of starts talking. Yeah. And they kind of give each other like a wink and a nod once in a while. You're like, are they like, what's going on here? Right.
And one thing I thought was kind of weird, but it makes sense that it's not necessarily the Ghostface was in those areas, like at the grocery store and out in the woods. It's almost to keep suspense. It's like that there's always a killer lurking about.
Yeah, you don't know.
So it's like, I don't think he's necessarily dressed up, walking around the aisle of the grocery store.
Right.
But I was like, I kind of like that. It kind of kept you like, man, don't forget there's a killer around.
Exactly.
So
yeah, you can't forget about that. But then Stu has some great lines like the better liver alone, man, because they're talking about the liver and all this stuff. But it just really, really great stuff here. Like some really good, like comedic moments to help kind of relieve some tension and then bring it back up, really great. And then Sid goes home and she's home alone because her dad's gone for the weekend and Tatum's going to come over after practice. So she decides, I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah.
One of those post-school naps that hit hard on the couch.
And this part, it was kind of interesting to me because it was like, it shows the clock, it's 5:45, and then it's pitch black at 7:15. I'm like, man, that was a quick transition.
What time of year is
So
this?
the whole time I thought she was in a dream. It's one of those like, this whole sequence is going to be a dream to freak you out, and it really didn't happen. But I was like, it never did. She never woke up.
You're like, when did she wake up from
so
this?
I totally, how they do that?
Yeah, all the time.
Because like, she woke up on the couch, and then the Ghostface attacks, and I was like, she's gonna wake up because this wouldn't happen this early in the movie. Yeah. So that caught me off guard.
Good. That's interesting. Yeah, they're not afraid to just go at it.
They did right off the bat. It was like super early because I was like, holy crap. That's why I didn't think it was real.
But and there's some great shots as she's going to sleep with like a sunset in the background over that house. I don't know.
That house is amazing.
That house is probably worth $8 million now, wherever it's at. Like,
I didn't look up where it was filmed. Did you? Is it in California?
I'm sure it was California. Yeah.
Very pretty shot.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. And then Tatum calls.
That's funny. As an adult, because a kid, you wouldn't think about any of that. But as an adult, I'm like, that house is nice. Look at that deck.
I know. Wraparound porch. It's got some acreage with it. It's on a hill overlooking a valley.
I totally thought that. I was like, man, that's a nice build.
That thing is
stupid.
A real estate agent's dream. But then Tatum calls and this conversation's like, she's like, I'm coming, but I was going to stop by the video store. And again, just talking about that and remembering what that was like, because you would go to your friend's house and be like, oh, I got to stop by the video store. We're going to grab some movies.
Yeah. Whoever didn't experience that, if there's young listeners, I'm so sorry.
I really feel bad because it was a whole thing. It was a vibe, man.
My 12-year-old even says, he's like, I'm jealous of the time you lived. You're like, I just tell him, you should be, buddy.
You should
sorry.
be. Yeah, yours is much worse than mine was. I'm sorry.
You just scroll endlessly on Netflix for garbage.
Oh, yeah, none of it's good.
Yeah.
Right? But I love how they continually, throughout the entire film, the dialogue is them dissecting like the slasher genre. Constantly.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's like this very meta sort of self-aware thing throughout the entire film, and I really love it.
It's cool because that's why you're watching it.
Yeah.
It's because you watched those
Exactly.
other films.
I really do like that, and I really like the way that Wes Craven kind of builds tension, slowly throughout the entire thing, constantly.
Yeah, he does.
Like there's just like he goes up and it goes down, more tension, and then it kind of comes down and up and up and up, right? And at this point, Sidney gets attacked in her home, which Cam thinks
Falls
is a dream.
Billy's sex drive.
Yeah, yeah. No, his is just like up here. That's true. It doesn't go down.
I think it does. Yeah.
Sidney gets attacked in her home, right? And it's kind of like. She goes to try and call 911, and then he had done something to the phone, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Right.
But I still to this day do not like. I've looked over the last few days what she was sending a 911 message out on. It was like a Tandy computer with Oregon Trail pulled up, and she types in 911.
I was trying to like remember back, like in the late 90s. Like, did we have something where we?
I guess you're connected to a modem, so technically you could call through.
I guess. But she would have to connect to the internet, and there would have to be some way.
It's like such a weird scene because today and age and all of our tech world, I'm like, what is happening?
Doesn't make any sense.
Even then, living in that time, I'm like, I don't know what she was doing.
So basically, she goes upstairs in her bedroom, and she has a computer there, and she's like texting 911 on her computer somehow. Like I don't know. There's something I must have missed.
And it's like that color for the old computer monitor screen.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
So I was like, what is happening?
I don't know where she got
that.
But
I tried to look it up and figure out what it was, and I didn't find any answers, even on Reddit.
Yeah, pretty crazy, man.
But yeah, I was just super shocked at how early this attack took place because, like I said, I was like, this has to be a dream because it wouldn't jump into her being attacked, the main star, this early. But sure enough, it was.
It definitely was.
And I was like, maybe it's a joke. Maybe someone was trying to like and you were led to believe there was a killer there. But no, it was the real killer.
It was the real killer. And then again, they drop more doubt because Billy shows up in a way that it couldn't have been him.
Yeah.
In the outfit and stuff, trying to kill her, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
How and then he has a cell phone that drops out of his pocket. I remember watching it like going, oh, I thought it was Billy. I guess it's not Billy.
Yeah.
I
could see how you would think that. And I think you can tell he led you up to believe just the way Billy's demeanor was.
Yeah.
And then before this even attack happened, you're like, I'm suspicious of him. But then this kind of threw me off. I was like, wait a minute.
What's going on? And then they somehow, again, she had texted the cops, right?
Yeah.
And so the cops come, and she runs downstairs and screams like she opens the front door, and Dewey's there. And
Dewey's there with the mask, like right up to the door.
I don't know why he's doing that.
I found this.
I know. Which it was pretty funny. And then Billy's arrested. They arrest him because he had the cell phone and nobody was kind of sure. And now she's like wondering, what the crap? Was it him?
Yeah.
Right?
And I do like when the sheriff is talking about cell phones. He's like, well, all kids have them these days.
Yeah.
It's like, made me think about like that time where they were becoming popular.
But so they did not, because I did not have a cell phone.
I didn't have one until I was like 21.
Yeah,
so
it was like 2003 or 2004 by the time I got a cell phone. But yeah, so they're outside, and the cops are there, and then Gail Weathers shows up, right? And that
green neon dress that she's wearing.
Man, yeah, that was a bold choice for
even a reporter.
I know. I'm like, come on.
Some buttons like all that.
Yeah, it was a very odd choice of color of a dress, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It looks good when you splatter blood on it.
That's true.
Right?
That might be the
Maybe
reason.
that was what was going on. But I love, so Dewey's out there, and we find out that Dewey is a brother to Tatum,
Yeah.
her best friend, right? And they're out there talking, and they're worried about Sidney, and he's talking to his sister, and she says, "Oh, Sidney's staying with us tonight," and he's like, "Well, does Mom know?" Like they paint him out to be like this huge idiot, like he has no idea what's going on. He's like just living at home with his parents, but he's a cop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And and I think that's on this part when they're at the police station, right?
Yeah. After this, they go back to the police station. Yep.
But there's a line in there the one thing is like Dewey's desk looks like even worse for him.
I had actually never noticed that before.
He has like plastic cuffs and like a bunch of toys, Dunkin' Donuts. Like his desk is just a huge mess for a young dude.
Yeah, for a cop.
For a cop,
too. Yeah, you're like
for a cop, especially.
I love. There's Gail Weathers shows up and she's got her cameraman there and she sees this stuff's going on and the Sidney's there and again we'd found out that she had covered Sidney's mom getting murdered the year before, right? And she's like, "Jesus, the camera, hurry!" And the cameraman's like, under his breath, he's like, "My name isn't Jesus."
I didn't even catch that.
It's like so under his breath. There's a couple of those that happen, but I just love. You have to really be listening to it.
And she's such a jerk to him.
I know she is, man.
It's like brutal
all the way through the entire movie. She is.
Yeah.
And then they go back to. They all go to the police station, and Tatum's there and Sid's there and Billy's there. He's arrested and Dewey. And his sister Tatum is like super rude to Dewey.
She is.
Right? She's like, "It's time to go home, Dewey, whatever."
And
she calls
her and Sidney are like starting to leave.
Yeah.
And
he's like, "What did Mom tell you? When I'm wearing this badge, you treat me like a man of the law."
I know. I wrote that down too because it's so freaking funny.
It's hilarious, dude. Like it is.
He's like trying to be a cop, but he obviously is not a cop still.
And I think it's like, small town deputy sort of vibe.
Sometimes your family just can't understand that you're important.
Especially a younger sister.
Exactly.
A younger sister, right?
Yeah.
They just would do that. And then there's some great shots out on the street. They're using like these anamorphic lenses, so you get those great like flares.
They were cool. I like the shots outside of the
And that soundtrack, I love that shot. After Billy is taken into custody, Sidney spends the night at her friend Tatum's house. Deputy Dewey is there as well, keeping watch. That evening, Sidney gets another call from Ghostface, proving Billy isn't the only suspect.
Yeah.
Right? Because Billy's in jail.
Right. So, So the part that I remember most about this scene is that Dewey's mom and Tatum's mom pokes her head in just to kind of talk to him. I'm like, it's the Gremlins mom. She looks exactly the same as she did in Gremlins, like what, 25 years earlier or 30 years earlier?
No, it was like 12 years earlier.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was even
Gremlins was 84. This was 96,
I guess,
so like 12 years.
I was thinking it was in the 70s for some reason.
No.
But I was like, holy crap.
I know
she makes an appearance, and I recognized her right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
The Gremlins mom.
That is,
So
that's definitely
cool.
her. Yeah. But yeah, there's a call that comes in.
Yeah.
And it's for Sid. So she goes out in the hallway and answers it, and it's Ghostface. Right? It's Ghostface.
Yeah.
So everybody starts kind of freaking out. She freaks out. Dewey comes out.
Dude, when his mom is like yelling, "Dewey, Dewey," and he takes forever to come out.
He does,
and then he comes out with his gun drawn, like
pointing it at everybody. For one thing, like he has no muzzle control. It's just like everybody.
That part killed me.
And then
he's just got like a white T-shirt on. And he's like, ready to shoot.
And then the phone's still off the hook, and he picks it up, and he get like this like serious face. Hello.
I know, it tries to sound all mean.
There's nobody there, right? It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to one of my two favorite scenes, and there's like this B-roll segue section, and this song drops here. Is Red Right Hand from Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, my favorite song from the whole soundtrack. But you have this B-roll of Woodsboro, and there's another section later that's actually better than this one that uses the same song again.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize the song was used twice.
Yes. But anyways, I just love this like little segue section.
Yeah, I did too. And the thing is, like, through the whole movie, I kind of felt like it was brutal how much they just kind of like subtly keep bringing up this poor girl, Sidney's mom's death.
Yeah.
It's like they just keep bringing it up in the news. It's like you can't avoid it. I think there's a section where she's sitting there listening to the news and they just bring it up again. I'm like, poor girl, man.
I mean,
it's like the only thing that's happened in this small town that, I mean, it's a big deal, but I was like, Oh,
well, and her
they
friends,
wanted you to know for sure what happened to her mom.
her friends and her boyfriend. Everybody keeps bringing it
Yeah,
up.
I was like, man, this poor girl.
It
It's
is.
Would have been a year, right? It's like a year anniversary.
Almost a year. Yep, right
And
then.
it's like, so I guess it's pretty fresh, but
Still,
I was
though,
like,
you're right.
leave her alone.
Salt in the wound,
This
for
girl
sure.
cannot get away from it.
Then we have some kids at school the next day that are running through the hallways in the Ghostface mask.
Yeah.
And the principal catches them, right?
Yeah.
Which, again, probably would have happened in our school if that was a
That's
thing.
the thing. You don't care.
No.
As a teenager, you're like, it's funny to you, kind of.
Yeah.
You're not scared of anything.
Yeah.
I wish I still had that.
And there was just 2 of your classmates that were brutally murdered. And you're just like, let's make a joke. It's all good.
It's so true, though. That would totally happen.
It totally would.
And then there's this scene where the principal's talking to him and he's super pissed and he threatens him with the scissors.
Oh, yeah, it's a scissors.
And have you noticed how much sound was coming out of those scissors? It sounds like a bike bell. It's like
It was so weird.
I was like, okay.
I saw your note and then I really listened to it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know who was sound editing, but they went hard with the scissor sound.
It's too loud. Even when he swings it over, it's like
It's like they're hitting a bell or something.
They're super loud. And I'm
make-
like, just thinking of a principal threatening with the scissors, I'm like, that'd be the end of that guy's career.
Well, I don't know. Back then, you
Yeah.
could do a lot of stuff.
That's true.
Today, for sure, if you said scissors in an office with some kids in it, they'd probably crucify you. Back then, you could do pretty much anything.
Yeah, well, he did. He had bell scissors that were super loud, and he was swinging them in their faces.
They were.
And they expelled, right? He expels them. He's like,
Yeah.
you're both expelled. And he's like
Yeah.
holding it up to their throat. And then it moves to the bathroom scene
Yeah.
where this is the dirtiest bathroom for a women's bathroom I've ever seen.
Well,
I always thought women's bathrooms were like
you're wrong,
pristine.
though. I've seen some women's bathrooms. You're wrong.
Haven't been in women's bathrooms very
Oh
often,
my
but I was
gosh.
like, it's gross.
It is gross.
Did you notice, like, even when when she's like looking to see if anybody's in there, the toilets, the bottoms are like
covered in like grime. Oh my gosh.
it's
yeah.
like there's tissue paper
Yeah.
everywhere.
In the corners, yeah. There's
And I was like,
toilet
it's very
paper.
much a high school bathroom, but I'm like, I'm
Gosh.
pretty sure this was the boys' bathroom.
It was pretty disgusting.
Anyways. This scene felt weird to me anyway. Like I know why they did it, just for her to be attacked in there by Ghostface that was in the girls' bathroom.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird scene
Yeah,
because I was like, it's in the middle school during the day. He's in there hiding. I just thought it was weird.
They
anyway.
almost could have just had her leave after she heard the girls talking about it.
Yeah, and I think
right?
that's the biggest part is for them to bring up her mom for you for the 90th time, understand what happened to her mom.
No.
But her mom was kind of, I guess this is where you realize her mom was like a
little
tramp.
promiscuous. Yeah, you kind of do realize that. But that girl was a hoochie, man. That blonde girl, gosh,
Yeah, she was.
she was a hoochie.
I was like, I don't look like a high schooler.
No,
It's like
no.
strip club 25-year-old.
Yeah, she's freaking mean, and I didn't like her. Back at the high school, Principal Himbry is alone in his office after scolding pranksters who dressed up as Ghostface. He hears noises in the hallway and investigates, only to be ambushed and stabbed to death by the killer. No one is safe here.
Yeah, that was pretty intense too.
Right. I just love he's like in his office and he has the Ghostface mask that he had taken from the kids.
Yeah.
And he's like scaring himself in the mirror with it. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
But it also kind of makes you like, again, this whole thing with him and the scissors and him with the face, you're like, is it him? Is he the killer?
I did kind of think, yeah, I
You
can
know?
see how they led you to believe that.
Yeah.
That's what they were trying to do.
And then he hears like a noise and he looks out in the hallway and the janitor's out there and he's like, did you hear something, Freddy? Or I can't remember. He says something to him.
Yeah.
But did you notice the janitor is dressed like Freddy Krueger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was dressed weird. I didn't realize that, but
He has a striped shirt and he has the hat on. And he's named Freddy.
yeah.
His
I
name's
thought it was
Fred.
weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, is this guy?
Yeah.
But I guess there was a purpose, right?
That was Wes Craven.
That was Wes Craven.
That was the director.
I didn't realize that until after.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was kind of weird.
It's kind of a cool
But I will
little
say, like,
cameo.
these big buildings like this, like an empty church building, an empty school,
yeah.
they're pretty terrifying.
They
So I was
are.
like, I liked how they used that of him just like, he kept poking around like he's hearing stuff and opening doors and scaring himself by the mirror.
Oh, yeah, there's the mirrors.
He's
And
like,
then-
oh.
And like you kind of think that they're gonna use those normal slasher horror tropes where they open up a door and then as they close it,
Yeah.
the killer's behind them. But they almost never do it.
No, they don't.
They just build the tension up in that spot and then
Yeah.
move on. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh. God,
Yeah, this part like bothered me when he's like when he's pushing the clothes open.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's like totally exposing yourself.
Yes.
It's one of those moves, like you said.
Exactly.
You're like, this is where he's going to get stabbed, but he didn't.
And they
was
did
kinda
that
cool.
3 or 4 times, and you're like, okay, well, maybe this is just tension here,
Yep.
and he's not going to kill, but then he does.
Yeah.
Right? He does.
And then when he gets killed, I kind of like the scene, how they show Ghostface in the reflection of his eye as he was dying. I'm like, that's pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah, it's great. And then, like, they cancel classes.
Yeah.
Right? I can't remember if he had canceled classes before.
Well, that's what I couldn't figure. Was that the end of school, or was
Yeah.
that after they decided to cancel?
I can't
Everybody
remember.
Went home?
Anyways, there's a cancellation of school, and like there's this whole vibe where like the kids are just stoked.
Yeah.
They're excited. And I think they start talking about Stu's party that they're gonna have. They're kind of walking down
Yeah,
the
that
street.
is kind of outside the school as they're going.
Yeah, and it's just like, and they actually play Schools Out, I think, for the summer.
That's when he's
you
like
know?
making out with Tatum on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I just the whole vibe, I love it. Like, anytime school got canceled,
Yeah, who
or
cares
something,
what it was for?
Oh my gosh,
Super exciting.
the best, right? That afternoon, the group ends up at the local video store. Randy launches into his horror movie knowledge, insisting Billy fits the perfect profile of a killer. Stu cracks a joke to cover, and Billy just stares, his silence making him seem even guiltier. The whole exchange is filled with slasher talk and suspicion, with customers and staff awkwardly overhearing. It's another reminder that in Woodsboro, everyone could be the killer.
Yeah. This might be the most exciting scene for me because they're in the movie store.
Because they're in the video store. Yeah, and Randy is so good, and he's just kind of like so into like the movie,
Yeah.
the horror stuff. That it makes you like, oh yeah,
I love
yeah.
he like paints the picture
Yeah.
of like the slasher movie you're watching.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
exactly. And I love Matthew Lillard throughout this whole thing, but Randy and him in this whole scene are so freaking good. And he's like, there's a very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect. And he like screams it because it's kind of like the culmination of this conversation they're having, and like the whole store
Yeah.
is staring at him, right?
And he's pretty suspicious of Billy.
Yes.
He's like, he's weird. And like,
Yeah, he's saying pretty much like he's the number one suspect. But then he's like, well, wouldn't you be a suspect? And he's like, you're right. You know, I would be a prime suspect. And then Stu asks him, like, well, what would your motive be? He's like, it's the millennium. Motives are incidental. And again, it goes back to that whole time period where the millennium was coming, and you know,
Right.
it was a whole vibe in itself.
Yes.
Right.
So true.
Yeah.
And then like when they move outside of the movie store to show like how the town is responding to this whole thing is so cool. Because like you see people closing up shop and like running to their car with their spouse in there because it's like the whole town is paranoid. I love that feeling. I don't know why.
Dude,
I don't know why. It's so cool.
That's my favorite section of the entire movie.
Yeah.
And it lasts maybe
Because
15,
now it's
20
sunk
seconds.
into the whole town. It's like,
Yeah.
there's a killer on the loose and they're killing like young. Everybody's freaked out.
I love the vibe and the feel, and the song drops. Red Right Hand drops again. In this montage of all the townsfolk just freaking paranoid. This is like this
is a very
perfect.
cool part.
It is my favorite whole section of the movie. Wes Craven is a genius here.
Yeah.
But you know that song, Red Right Hand?
Yeah.
Do you remember what other movie that's been in?
I don't.
Think about it. Think about it, man. It's a movie you would not expect it
This to be in.
Yeah. It's Dumb and Dumber.
Is it really?
You remember when he's got the big dumb hat on and he's gone out to get stuff and he's and it's red.
It's that huge,
Yeah. That's the
is that
same
really? It's the
song. It's the same song.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I just
I
thought that
remember
was
the
fun.
song from Dumb and Dumber, but for some reason it didn't stand out to me in
Yep.
Scream.
That's it's just funny because
That's pretty
I
funny.
freaking love that song. I actually have it on a playlist. I have a playlist called Small Town
It's a
Murder
good one.
on my phone, and this is one of them because I just love the vibe of it
Yeah.
all.
I actually think this is where you see the killer like stalking a little bit, like
Maybe, yeah.
where you see him in the grocery store. I can't remember. There's several parts where he's just like there, and you're like, why is he in the middle of? But it's there to kind of keep you,
Yeah.
scared.
And it shows like Dewey in the car. They're getting out, and he's got Sid and he's got Tatum with him, and he's like slams the door, and it's like right as the music swells, and there's that big bell in the song, that hits as soon as he slams the door. Oh my gosh! Like I can't tell you how much I love this section of the movie.
Yeah.
And then the girls are going into the grocery store because they're grabbing snacks for the party. Right?
Yeah.
Again, a throwback to times in high school,
yeah.
which I
This is
just
the best, man.
freaking love. You'd have to hit two places. You'd have to hit the grocery store and you'd have to hit the movie store.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, they got me. They made me feel it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It pulled me back to that.
Oh
time.
my gosh. We have this little scene with Dewey and the police chief.
It's probably one of my favorite scenes.
Is it?
Because they're just sitting there like, kind of intensely talking. Like the sheriff's kind of freaked out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he seems a little bit more paranoid.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he's smoking. And I think Dewey even mentioned that. He's like, I thought you quit smoking, but you could tell. He's smoking. And each time he takes a drag, Dewey has an ice cream cone. and when the sheriff takes a drag, Dewey licks his ice cream cone.
Dude,
it's so funny.
It is genius.
Because it's like he's watching the sheriff and he's like, I'm going to do it too.
Yeah, they're going to do it at the same time. It's like, this is the apprentice. This is the master. He's trying to learn. One's got a cigarette. The other one has a vanilla ice cream cone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it kills me. That part made me laugh pretty hard.
It is so good. It's fantastic, and it's just perfect again to paint Dewey as
it makes it fun.
The fumbling idiot, of a cop, and that he's going to be involved in the whole climax of this thing, and it's going to be funny. Yeah, right. Just freaking so good. Yeah, I love it. The third act kicks off at Stu's house, where the teens gather for one big party. Tatum heads to the garage where she's killed by Ghostface. Between the booze, flirting, and VHS marathons, Randy lays out the sacred laws of horror. Don't drink, don't have sex, and never say, I'll be right back. When news spreads that Principal Himbry's body has been found on the goalpost, most of the kids rush out to see, leaving only a small group behind.
Yeah. I never went to a party like this.
No. I mean, I went to similar...
Did it ever show Stu's parents or any of this? Like,
did not show
Kid
Stu's
just
parents.
lived his life however he wanted.
He just showed up and he's in his Hugh Hefner robe. Did you notice? It's
I didn't even notice
like
that.
A straight up, like a red robe with like lining on it. Like it looked just like Hugh Hefner.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But the house party it's kind of like the classic teenage drinking party.
Yep.
But again, the whole slasher movie thing comes in because they're like voting on which one to watch, and Stu's like saying, "Oh, should we watch this? Should we watch this?" Right?
Maybe they killed their parents.
Maybe they did.
Because I'm like, it's during this time of all this, and his parents never show up.
Stu does talk about his parents.
Oh,
again,
that's right.
So maybe not. I don't know. Nobody knows here. But yeah, and then Gail actually kind of shows up because she's just kind of waiting for something to happen. But she goes inside and actually plants a camera in the living room.
She comes in with Dewey, huh?
Somehow, right? Oh yeah, it was with Dewey. That's right. She comes in with Dewey. And then Tatum, this is where she gets one of the most famous death scenes in this movie. She goes out to the garage. She's getting more beer for everybody. And as she comes back, Ghostface is right there.
Yeah.
Right?
And she's like, is this another kid? Like joking around with her. And she tries to leave.
She's not scared
and
at all.
And he cuts her arm.
Oh, yeah.
And that part is kind of like...
Why did you just cut her arm?
Why didn't you just stab her in the chest?
Stab her.
Yeah.
Don't cut her arm.
Playing a game with her.
Yeah, this is a game.
It had to be kind of suspenseful.
It's the rules.
Yeah,
there's rules to all this.
That is exactly right.
Yeah. So she tries to leave. She couldn't get through the door, and she kind of like knocks him down. Right.
Yeah, that's the one thing I thought. I was kind of like, why is this like? He's pretty clumsy as a killer. She throws bottles at him, kind of slows him down, and swings the freezer portion of the that doesn't exist anymore. The top part,
the top freezer.
She swings it into his face and knocks him down. But I'm like, he's a kid.
Yeah,
like it makes more sense that he's kind of clumsy. Like they're not professional.
He's
killers
not some 35-year-old contract killer.
Yeah,
out
exactly.
there, right?
So as like it actually makes the killer more real.
Mm-hmm. And so she tries to open up the garage door to get out, but she can't. So she tries to go through the garage doggy door. Right? She gets halfway through.
Yeah.
Ghostface hits the button. She goes up and gets squished. Just killed.
Yeah.
In the doggy door.
It's a heck of a motor, man.
I know. That's what I was saying.
It's like
you see
Chamberlain's best motor they ever built.
It really is. And you see the motor kind of explode
Yeah.
when it gets to the top. I don't know why it would do that, but I think it would just stop. But if she would have had a smaller rack, she might have lived.
Yeah.
Because she got stuck.
I think that's why she was in the movie, obviously.
Yeah, she's almost like the classic slasher girl that's going to get killed.
Totally is.
Yeah.
But that was kind of surprising that she died. It was Sidney's friend, and she was kind of part of the big group. So you're like, holy crap.
And then we have Sid and Billy actually upstairs together. They're talking. They're sort of making up a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Like, because obviously she's kind of accused him of being a killer, and he's like, I wasn't a killer,
Yeah.
and all this stuff. Anyways, and he starts mentioning some horror movies, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
I don't know how that came up, but it did.
Yeah, I can't remember what that one.
And she's like, and she said, it's life. It's not a movie. And he's like, no, sure it is. It's all a movie. Again, it's just, this film is so self-aware about what it's doing here. And then she says, well, why can't I be a good Meg Ryan movie or even a good porno? And his eyes and his face, it's like, okay, it's happening. And then she has sex with a serial killer.
Yeah. As Randy almost like narrates it.
Yeah, he narrates it, huh?
Yeah.
It's so awesome because he's downstairs at the same time and he's laying out the horror movies or the rules for horror movies, and again, this might be another one of the biggest iconic scenes of this film. And the rules are never have sex, and she's upstairs obviously having sex with a serial killer. Never drink or do drugs. They're all down there drinking. And never ever under any circumstance say, I'll be right back. And then Stu says, I'm going to go get a beer.
I'll be right back.
And then he leaves, right? It's so freaking good. And then they're all down there watching while they're up there making out and getting hot and heavy. And then Randy goes, look, they're watching the movie. Here comes the obligatory tit shot. And as soon as you're going to see boobs in the movie, it flashes to her upstairs in her bra, taking off her shirt.
Yeah.
It's just really great editing there.
Yeah.
For that whole scene.
Yeah. And it's not as like some of the classics where they lean so much into that part. It's just it moves on from it.
It moves on really quick, and then Billy actually,
that's why I kind of like it as a teenage slasher movie.
Yeah, for sure. And then Ghostface comes in, and after they've had sex, and Billy is stabbed. So you think, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck?
This really kind of Even I said, I knew who the killers were, but I was like, what happened right here? It kind of got me a little bit confused.
Right, yeah.
But at one part is when they are talking about, this is before after he gets stabbed, huh? When they bring up that the principal.
Yeah, they get a call.
They get a call that the principal was killed and he was hung from the goalposts. And I think it's the two that got expelled.
Is it really?
Where they kind of celebrate and then they go to see it. Because that's what teenagers would do, man.
100%. And only Randy stays.
Yeah.
So he's the only one that stays downstairs. So chaos erupts as Ghostface attacks inside the house. Randy narrowly survives while Gail and Dewey both come face to face with the killer. Kenny is murdered in the news van. That's the cameraman. Gail crashes her getaway attempt, and Sidney finds herself trapped as Billy suddenly reappears. After sleeping with Sidney, Billy reveals his true nature. He and Stu are Ghostface, working together. Their motive, Billy's revenge over Sidney's mother destroying his family, and Stu's thrill-seeking man. There's no really... He says it has a line here, but he doesn't have a motive. They stab each other to fake wounds and lay out their plan to frame Sidney's dad. Right.
Yeah, and so this is where I was mentioning before that my notes got a little thinner because I started to get really into seeing how this all played out. So it was kind of interesting. Yeah, I was pretty entertained by it.
There's some great scenes here. Randy's super drunk at this point, just watching the movie by himself. And he's looking at the movie and he's like, look behind you, turn around. And he's yelling at the movie, those things, as Ghostface is right behind him.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. And then Kenny, the cameraman, gets his throat slit.
That was pretty intense.
That was super intense, right?
That one was pretty unexpected.
He dies. And then Gail finds her way back out to the van, beating Randy in the face because she doesn't know who the killer is here.
Yeah.
And Randy's trying to get out. And then the entire windshield is filled with blood, right? And
brown.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Mud blood.
Well, disgusting. And she puts on the windshield
throw up.
wipers and realizes that Kenny's up there and slides on the front. And she's pissed off at him because he's dead on the windshield. She's yelling at him.
I know, poor
Kenny.
guy.
He's can't catch a break.
No.
Gets killed.
And I was
murdered.
thinking, I'm like, man, it would have taken two people to put that guy up on top.
Maybe it did.
So it was how did he get up there?
And then Dewey ends up getting knifed and kind of stumbles out of the house. And you're like, holy crap, Dewey died.
Yeah, that part was kind of surprising. And I was like, crap, he doesn't die because I swear I've seen him in the other.
I know. And then there's the scene where Sid has the gun finally, right? And Randy and Stu kind of come up on the porch. And the other one's like, oh, no, he's a killer. No, he's a killer. And again, you don't know who to trust. She doesn't know who to trust. The audience doesn't know who to trust.
Yeah, I can see how it mixes it all up right there.
Mixes it all up. And then Billy comes rolling down the stairs all bloody, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, who's who here?
I know.
What's what?
And I did think this part when she's like laying over him, like kind of holding Billy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wouldn't she like look at his wounds or like try and like patch him up? Like you can see there's no holes in his t-shirt.
Put some pressure on something.
Yeah, I was
like, who knows?
So I was like,
dumb teenagers.
She could have seen that.
Yeah.
But she's just too worked up.
Worked up, right? Yeah. And then Billy shoots Randy and then licks his fingers like a creepo.
Yeah, because they got the gun from Dewey, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, where did they get that gun?
He's like, corn syrup. Same thing they use for pig's blood and carry. It's so disgusting, man, when he does that.
I know.
I don't like it. Yeah, it's gross. Then she turns around and runs right into Stu. And I love Matthew Lillard in this point. And he's like just kind of looking forward like a psycho.
When he talks to her, you see all the spit dripping from his lips and stuff. Like he looks like a psychopath.
And this whole section here is just genius acting. Yeah. Especially from Matthew Lillard.
He does really good right here because he does look like a psychopath.
Oh my gosh.
And I like when she runs into him and he's just kind of staring off. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, he's.
And then he brings up the voice changer, right?
Yep.
But there are some great lines where he's like, we're going to play a game. It's a fun game, Sidney. See, we ask you a question, and if you get it wrong, and he's like, just spit.
That's when all the spit flies.
Spit flies everywhere. And he's like, watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun. It's just like the way that he says stuff.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
He's pretty crazy.
He's freaking genius.
The other movie I remember him in being like nuts is isn't it She's All That?
Where he like dances.
Yeah, he's like from Big Brother or what was that?
Some
MTV
Real World.
Real World. Yeah. He's such a but he plays really good in that one too.
Oh, it's fantastic. And then they reveal that they have her dad, right? And the whole thing, and again, it's like the classic horror movie when they tell her the whole plot, like what their plan is for some dumb reason. But they stab each other. Yeah. Because they got to like show that they were in the fight and they weren't the ones, but they just keep stabbing each other like crazy psychos. Yep. Which is not good. And again, Stu's like, I feel a little woozy here. And he's like literally dying, because Billy got
Man, getting stabbed like that scene, I was always like kind of, or during that scene, I was like, man, that's bad. To like, you think that would just like cut each other's arms or something? It's like stabbing each other in the abdomen.
They got to make it look real. Yeah, well. Billy got stabbed like right in the liver. I'm like, stab on the other side.
I know.
You know what I mean? I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, they were teenagers. They weren't thinking.
Didn't know nothing. Gail Weathers comes back in and she'd like crashed a car. She looked like a freaking zombie. She'd been so beat up, but she ends up with the gun. And then comes face to face with those guys. And then Billy's like, I thought you said she was dead. And Stu's like, she looked dead, man. Still does. Just those lines. So freaking hilarious to me.
And I think this was just from earlier, like when he's like, surprise Sidney. And he has this big line of spit and he sucks it back up.
Sucks it back up. He's hilarious here. Sidney flips the script using Ghostface's own mask and voice to turn the tables. She outsmarts the killers, drops a TV on Stu, puts a bullet in Billy's head after his final lunge. Not in my movie. Dawn breaks with Sidney bloodied but alive. Gail reporting live from the scene, and Woodsboro is forever changed. So Sid gets away. She calls the cops and then uses their own voice changer. Flips the script on her.
It was so weird to me, but it was like kind of cool too.
Yeah, for sure. Why not? And then
you think that she wouldn't want to put that stuff on and become a murderer.
Why not though?
Yeah.
And Stu at one point is like, I think I'm dying here, man. Because like Billy's like, help, get up and go find her. Yeah. Right? And she calls on the phone and then he gives the phone to Stu. And Stu's talking to her on the phone. And she's like, what's your motive? I know what his motive is. He's like, peer pressure. I'm far too sensitive. And he's just like blood, like he's dying. Yeah. Saying this stuff. And then Billy throws the phone at him. Did you notice when he did that? He's like, you hit me with the phone, dick.
Yeah, I do remember.
I just so freaking good.
Yeah. It is funny because it's like such chaos at the end there.
It really is.
Like being the killers, but almost like killed themselves and stuff.
He gets on the phone and he's talking to her. He's like, "Did you really call the cops? Or did you call the police?" And he's like, "I'll bet your sorry ass I did."
And then that line, man, it's just so funny. He's like, "My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me."
It's like perfect. It's so good.
It is. It's really funny. And
it is amazing.
Everybody knows that line too.
Yeah, and it just again. This is Matthew Lillard, genius.
Yeah,
he's underrated. I don't care.
And then when Billy's like looking around for her, she comes out and stabs him with like a huge umbrella. Stabs him like twice.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, that's pretty vicious.
That is pretty bad.
That doesn't kill him. No,
it doesn't.
It doesn't kill him, but it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the TV kill with her pushing it on top of Stu was such a I've seen that death scene in so many different like films, like movies, like TV shows, series, like I think Creep Show, like or some of those things where I'm like the that heavy TV alone, you didn't need all the electrical stuff to happen. Like it's just so heavy.
The glass is like this thick on
I know
those
that's
things.
the thing. You cannot break that. I've tried with baseball bats, I've tried with rocks to bust old TVs, and you can't. That stuff is thick. So
it'll just smash your face.
Just the crush. Yeah. You didn't need all the electrical stuff happening.
That's right. Yeah. And then like, he's like, careful. Randy's like, careful. This is the moment where the killer comes back to life for one last scare. And she's like, not in my movie. Boom, bullet to the head.
Shoots him right in the head.
She's like,
so he's done. There's no,
Yeah. And then the dad comes out, right? Or like finds his, he was like I don't know where he was at. It was in the closet or something.
Yeah.
Right? Comes stumbling out. Like,
and I saw there was a spoof on that. You can see one of the like prop teams like hand come out pushing one of the like broomsticks and stuff.
That's funny.
Because you see all the stuff. I'm like, where was the dad at? Like,
what was going on?
Comes clumsily stumbling in to freak you out.
Yeah. As daylight breaks, Sidney survives. Gail reports live from the scene of Woodsboro's left changed forever. The credits roll on a story that reinvented the slasher genre.
And there was that little last jump scare on the credits. It's like boom, it like flashes for a minute. It caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It's kind of cool.
So that is Scream. There are a few things I wanted to talk about, like some behind the scenes stuff and some production notes. So Kevin Williamson, the writer, was actually inspired to write Scream after watching a news story about the Gainesville Ripper. While house sitting afterwards, he noticed an open window and he thought that he'd locked, and the fear that crept in sparked the screenplay. So
that's cool.
It was actually, sparked by like a real thing.
Disturbing, but cool.
Yeah. The script set off a Hollywood bidding war with several major studios fighting for it before Dimension Films won out with a $400,000 deal just for the script, which was great for Kevin. Good job. Wes Craven initially turned the film down twice. What changed his mind was Drew Barrymore signing on.
Oh, okay.
Plus a moment when a fan told him he'd gone soft compared to his earlier work. So he's like,
screw you, I'll show you.
I'll show you what I can do.
Oh, that's cool.
So Wes went hard in the paint. Drew Barrymore was originally cast as Sidney.
So she was, okay. I thought I'd heard that.
But she pushed to play Casey instead, arguing that killing off a big star in the opening scene would make the film unforgettable. And
that was kind of her idea, huh?
That was her idea.
That's pretty.
And she was right.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Right. So the Ghostface mask wasn't something designed, by the studio or anything. It was actually a cheap novelty Halloween mask.
I wondered.
Yeah.
Because it
existed.
All of them to have it and running around with it, I'm like, it must have been either created by this film or it already existed. So it did exist, huh?
A small company called Fun World made it back in 1991, part of their Fantastic Faces line. The design pulled from the classic horror imagery of Edward Munich's The Scream painting, right? Obviously. Producer Marianne Maddalena stumbled across the mask on a location scout, sitting in a random box in a house. Wes Craven saw it and knew instantly this was the face of his killer. Dimension tried alternate designs, but none of them hit the same. Craven fought to keep it, and Ghostface was born.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's awesome.
It's perfect. Fun World licensed the mask to the production instead of selling it outright, which turned out to be one of the smartest moves in Hollywood Halloween history. After Scream blew up, the mask became a cultural icon and one of the best-selling Halloween costumes of all time.
Makes total sense.
To this day, Fun World makes money on every Ghostface mask sold.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks to a $3 piece of plastic that became a horror legend.
Man, they made bank on this.
They were so lucky.
Seriously.
So freaking lucky. The effects team went through around 50 gallons of fake blood on set. It was a sticky mix of corn syrup and dye that most slasher films were using back in the day.
That's cool.
Dewey was actually supposed to die in the original script, but Craven liked David Arquette's performance so much that he changed it.
I'm glad.
I am too.
I was worried about that because I was like, I hope he doesn't die.
Because
I was most nervous for him for some reason.
Because you like him.
Yeah, you
Because
do.
he's so likable. Instead of being killed off, Dewey survives, giving a thumbs up in the final moments. So
Poor
that's
sister
pretty-
died horrifically.
Yeah, she's done. Yeah. The original cut of Scream was much gorier. The MPAA repeatedly threatened to give it an NC-17 rating, which would have killed its box office. Yeah, it just would have been done. Wes Craven had to re-edit several scenes, including Drew Barrymore's death and Tatum's garage door kill, toning down shots of entrails and lingering blood. Even then, Craven admitted that he actually snuck some unapproved footage back in at the end, which I don't know how you can do that, but
I don't
he did.
either.
Yeah. 2 weeks into filming, Miramax executives hated what they saw from the Drew Barrymore sequence and almost shut down the whole project. Craven and editor Patrick Lussier scrambled to recut the footage overnight, resubmitting it to the studio. The reworked version convinced them to let the film continue.
That's crazy.
And that opening went on to be one of the horror's most iconic scenes, which, yeah, is pretty nuts, right?
Yeah.
The climactic house party at Stu's place was shot over the course of 21 straight nights. Isn't that insane?
That is insane.
21 straight nights. Cast and crew called it the longest night in horror history. The grueling schedule had everyone exhausted and tensions rose, but the payoff was a third act that feels relentless and claustrophobic. And I think you're right. I mean, that was fantastic. That whole end piece, it's chaotic, it's claustrophobic. They did a great job.
That's crazy.
The crew printed T-shirts afterwards that read, "I survived scene 118." And that was the call sheet
cool
number.
to have those.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? Roger L. Jackson, the man behind Ghostface's voice, wasn't allowed to meet the cast during filming. Wes Craven kept him hidden so the actors wouldn't put a face to the voice. He would call them live on set from another room, so the fear and reactions were genuine.
Wow.
Pretty
His
cool.
voice was awesome.
Dude,
like,
it's
he made it
fantastic.
sound so cool.
It's such a good voice for this, right? A lot of Ghostface creepy phone banter actually wasn't in the script. Roger Jackson improvised many of the lines while talking with the actors.
Oh, wow.
Which added to the unsettling realism. So he was just kind of playing with a lot of it, which is pretty cool. Craven sneaks into the cameo as a janitor. We kind of knew that already, right?
That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
funny. He was dressed up totally as like Freddy Krueger.
It looks exactly like Freddy Krueger. Several of Stu's most memorable lines, like "My mom and dad are going to be so mad at me," were improvised as well.
That's awesome.
Like in the way that he was like so over the top with all of that wasn't written into the script. That was all
I
improvised.
think I made it awesome because
Dude.
it's like
Yeah.
he's dramatic and just like he's still a teenager and
Exactly.
he did a really good job.
Because Dimension was terrified of spoilers, the cast was only given select pages at first with multiple fake endings that
Oh,
were
wow.
circulated into the public.
That's smart.
Even the actors didn't know who the killer was until late in production,
That's pretty cool.
which is cool to think
I don't know
about.
how they did that.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. Kevin Williamson's script was called Scary Movie all the way through filming. It was Harvey Weinstein who pushed for the title change to Scream after hearing the Michael Jackson song of the same name. The parody
That's where the
franchise
Scary
later
Movie came
stole
from.
the original title.
I will say that Scary Movie spoof like kind of ruined some of the scenes for
Did it?
me because
I've never seen it. I've
it's
never
so
seen
dumb.
those.
Because like one of the first opening scene with Drew Barrymore running like away from the killer in the open. In Scary Movie, it's Carmen Electra,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
he stabs her and pulls out like a breast implant.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah,
Stupid crap.
So dumb. So that's kind of some of the behind the scenes and the making of Scream from 1996. So Cam, I want to go to our favorite picks for this, and I can't wait to hear yours. Because
Favorite character, favorite
scene, that
So-
kind of stuff.
My it was tied, man. I wanted to separate them out, but I have to mention two scenes.
Okay.
So Dewey's my favorite. He really is my favorite. But the opening sequence. So the opening sequence is so good that I can't have it as not part of my favorite. It's
Yeah.
just so good.
It is.
But the scene with Dewey and the ice cream cone,
Yeah.
like made me love his character the most. That's why I was like kind of afraid for him at the end.
Yeah.
Because I was like, he's freaking hilarious.
He's just like a lovable oaf kind of deal, right?
So my favorite scene would be Dewey in the ice cream cone, but
Yeah.
I have to mention that opening scene made the movie for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's fantastic, man. And I'm having a really hard time actually coming up with a favorite scene. For me, it's more like the atmosphere and feel of the movie. Like, I honestly think that I saw this like at 15 or 16. It made me feel something, and I've been chasing that for like 30 years.
Okay.
Like that feel.
I know those movies that do that.
Right? And so, like, I found it since with some movies, like one being like Signs. You know how that movie makes you feel?
It's the atmosphere,
And
man.
the atmosphere. Like, I kind of get a similar feel like I did the first time I watched Scream.
I could see that.
Right?
Yeah, I could see how those two correlate.
Yeah. And even like Weapons that just came out kind of had a similar feel to me. So anyways, I just love
I need to see that now.
feel. It's one of my favorite things about watching movies is the atmosphere and the feel. But I think if I go with my favorite character, I have a tie between Stu and Dewey. I love them both.
Yeah.
They're so freaking good.
Stu is really good.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard is a genius, and he's not praised enough for this.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I agree.
So, anyways, that is our favorite picks.
It's time for the Raised by VHS Top 5 list.
So, the top 5 list we've done for this one, there's so many ways I could have gone with this. But what I wanted to do is top 5 movies where the rules matter.
I like this.
Right? And we didn't really discuss this, Cam.
Which I think it makes it even funner.
Which I think makes it funner. So, however you interpret it is how you interpret it. Obviously, with Scream, there were like the rules of horror.
Yeah.
Right? But there's a lot of other movies where rules are part of the script in the feel and the movie. And so I wanted to see kind of where we would go with that.
Yeah.
Right? Do you want me to go first, or do you want?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
My number 5 is Scream.
Scream, nice.
So, because it plays into that where Randy like really paints the picture of like this is going to happen in this order.
Yes.
So it follows those rules of a classic slasher, and so I had to put that in that list.
Love it. My number 5, Jumanji. Because they have to follow the rules of the game.
That's true,
and they have to do it in a certain
That's a
way,
good one.
or they're gonna die.
That's a good
right.
one.
So I went with Jumanji number 5. My number 4 is one that's been on my list a couple of times for some other stuff, but it's Gremlins.
Yeah.
Right? You can't feed them after midnight. They can't see sunlight, or you're going to get some Gremlins. So
That's a great one.
I went with Gremlins.
And so my number 4, it's kind of weird, but I put Willy Wonka in there because he has such specific rules for his chocolate factory.
He does, yeah.
You know, and he even has them sign a contract that they can't do this. They can't touch the chocolate. They can't, and they can't eat. So it's just like kind of funny to me that I thought it just came to my mind.
Willy
Wonka. It wasn't one I like found in research. I was like, Willy Wonka always reminds me of like he's so strict about the rules of his chocolate factory. So anyways, that's
I like it.
kind of a weird one.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Zombieland.
Oh, yes.
Because remember, it goes very specifically. It's like cardio and double tap, all that stuff. So I was like,
great.
it follows very specific rules.
That was on my short list. It just didn't quite make it.
Yeah, Zombieland.
That's a good one. My number 3, and there's really only, I guess there's 2 rules when you come down to it, but it's Fight Club.
It's a great one.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
I know.
You know, and so that's why, I mean, fantastic movie,
Yeah, for sure.
obviously. So I went with Fight Club. My number 2 is Scream.
Yeah.
I
Makes sense.
I had to do it. That
They
was my
follow
number
through
2.
with the rules and everything.
Yep.
So we're on number 2.
Number 2.
Which is Gremlins for me.
Gremlins, yep, good.
You know, don't feed him after midnight.
Yeah.
Don't give him,
Well, you're on the same wavelength there.
Yeah, for sure.
That was good. How about your number 1?
My number 1's Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Because I always remember that what's the number 1 rule about Fight Club?
Yeah,
you don't talk about Fight Club.
Fight Club.
And that's one of my all-time favorite movies. So,
dude, it is so fantastic. I need to revisit it.
I do too.
It's just so amazing.
I loved it. Like I went to the theater and saw it, and I thought it made you feel like the coolest dude. Like you wanted to be part of a Fight Club. So, anyways,
sure.
That's why it was my number 1.
That makes sense. Totally makes sense. My number 1, Back to the Future.
Yeah,
right.
That makes sense.
There are some rules there.
It actually was on my short list too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to get to 88 miles per hour. You got to have
Speed was my other one.
Speed. Oh, yeah.
Remember, you have to stay
put up above 55 or 50 or
That's
whatever
another
it
rule
was.
following.
Yeah. You can't see yourself. You can't talk to your parents in the past, and you're going to change the
very,
present.
Very
so,
clear rules that they break.
That's what I went with.
It's good.
As
I like
Back
that
to
list.
The future. So that is our top 5 list.
Thank you for calling the VHS Conspiracy Hotline.
All right.
I love that.
I know you do. You like that one, don't you?
It's a good beat.
So, conspiracy with Scream. This conspiracy is that Stu lives.
Yeah.
Cam, you know,
his death was the least slasher-like to me.
Right. So one of the biggest fan theories in Scream history is that Stu Macher never actually died in the original film. Yeah, Sidney dropped TV on his face. But horror fans know the rule. If you don't see a body, there's always a chance. For years, people have pointed out that Stu could have survived with burns and brain damage. You know, he already kind of had a little bit of brain damage anyways. Matthew Lillard himself has fueled the fire, admitting that early drafts of Scream 3 had Stu alive, running Ghostface killings from prison, which would have been interesting. That script was scrapped after Columbine, but the idea of Stu lurking in the shadows never went away. Conspiracy theorists take it further. What if Stu has been quietly pulling strings in the background all along? You know, you haven't seen all the other ones, but there's like 1,000 Ghostfaces now, like all different ones. Every new Ghostface, every cycle of killings, all part of a larger plan from the guy who started it with Billy. His over-the-top personality and obsession with horror rules would make him the perfect puppet master hiding behind the mask.
I don't feel like he portrays the smart enough.
Yeah.
It seems like Billy was the mastermind.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem that way, doesn't it? And now, here's where things get wild, Cameron. Matthew Lillard has officially been confirmed to return in Scream 7.
Oh, really?
He's on the cast list.
Oh, my gosh.
Directed by Kevin Williamson himself, the original scriptwriter.
That would be a good one to see then.
The man who wrote the original Scream is bringing Stu back after nearly 30 years. Fans who've always said Stu survived just got the ultimate vindication.
That's cool.
So that's pretty darn cool. So I'm
Smash face. It's like
TV head, ghost face, TV face. Yeah, I don't know, but it's kind of that. I'm actually really interested to see because this comes out, I think, early next year.
I saw like a picture of it. I didn't see him on it, but that's cool.
I'm kind of excited.
That's crazy.
Conspiracy Cam.
Well, it came to life. So
yeah.
Raised by VHS movie memorabilia Inferno.
Oh man, so searching through Scream memorabilia was an experience.
Was it?
Yeah. There is a lot of very strong fan-based memorabilia. Very expensive stuff. So I'm sorry. You didn't get anything that cool.
Oh, man.
There wasn't it was either like all in or just garbage.
Yeah, sure.
So
I get it.
maybe
garbage.
not the most exciting thing in the world.
That's all right. I'm excited.
There's
either
two
way.
parts.
Two parts. Ooh, baby. I like a two-parter.
Number one, some Carol syrup.
Dude, I'm going to get some red dye.
I know. I was going to get you some red dye.
Yeah, Carol syrup.
And then
baby.
I thought these were kind of cool. Just some basic.
Oh, nice.
Some cool socks that have Ghostface on them.
You know, my kids got me an entire pack of
really?
Scream socks. I wear them to church all the time.
Dang it.
No, but I don't have this one.
That one's cool.
This is a new one.
I was like, that one's clean enough that people
yeah.
will recognize it. So
for sure.
There's your memorabilia.
Beautiful.
I want you to use that corn syrup to scare your wife.
I probably will. If I come home with that, she'll be like, why do you have a thing of corn syrup?
I thought you didn't like sugar.
Yeah, I do actually. So let's talk about our ratings here, Cam.
Yeah.
I'm going to go first.
Okay, go ahead.
My late fees out of $100 for screams, multiple screams, $86.
Wow, really? Mm-hmm. You put it that high, huh?
I sure did. Again, this film is it might be my favorite horror film.
You saw it at a really good time as a teenager. I could see it being stronger.
Yep.
For me, I think a lot was taken off because Scary Movie for one ruined it a bit.
I don't know how you watch Scary Movie but not Scream.
I know.
How does that happen?
I don't know. Those stupid comedies, man. Watched a lot of them.
I don't think I've seen any of those. It's so funny.
They're not great, but they're funny.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that, I'm seeing a more teenage-focused movie as an adult. So it probably took some off the score.
Absolutely.
I'm only putting it as a 68.
Whoo, 68. Okay. We're going to
get your calculator out. So our total between both of us, final verdict?
77.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
77 is a good score. And $77 in late fees. I mean, it really puts us.
That puts it. I think
top
that's a
tier
good
list.
store or good score.
Good store and score.
Because I think IMDb was like 7.5. So
Were they? Oh, so
we about are right on with that.
We're right in line with that. So nice. There we go, Cam. Your first watching of Scream, and I'm feeling happy that you were able to do it. I'm happy that I got
now
you
need to watch
it.
Scary Movie.
Now I need to watch Scary Movie. You're right.
Oh man,
I need to do that.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
man.
great.
I hope you guys are having a good Halloween.
I'm hoping.
But this whole month is Halloween to me. Okay.
The whole month is.
I hope you're watching Arachnophobia, Scream,
and we got
our
another
next
one
one's
coming.
going to be great.
It's gonna knock
one
your
of our
socks
all-time
off.
favorites.
It's gonna knock
both
your
of our
Scream socks
favorites.
off. Anyways, that is another overdue rental. Thanks for listening to Raised by VHS.